All right, and a good Sunday to you. Nice to see you out there again. Welcome to another episode of JD's Deep Cut Sunday Tracks again. So, last day of February. All right, getting through 2021, almost a quarter of the way in. Hope everybody's having a good year so far. Today we're going to talk about another band, another obscure track. On this episode, the band did become a huge band, like we've talked in the past of bands. But the song, and they did have a time in their career. Early albums weren't big hit makers. They weren't all over the charts. The band became gigantic towards middle end of their career. Did have a couple of charters early on, but I like this band because they were again one of the in the forefront of the progressive rock movement. Talking about Stixx, okay? Stixx has had a pretty long career. They've long broken up, now, but they left a mark. They left a mark, especially in the '70s, in the progressive rock movement. Okay, we're talking about their sixth album, Crystal Ball. Okay, this album was a great album. Maybe my favorite album of theirs, because it is an obscure album. Weren't any big hits off of it. Oops. Little error there. It's all right. No big deal. Happens, I guess. Okay. Let me get the holder here. Okay. Happens to all of us, right? No biggie. The song we're talking about on this album is "This Old Man." Okay. This Old Man's around the 6-minute mark song. Definitely goes into that, long intro, piano intro, courtesy of Dennis DeYoung. Dennis DeYoung was a great piano player, mostly keyboards, great vocals. I think he was the more softer part of the band per se, more contemporary, with throwing a lot of classical influence into Stixx music. Okay, but had a great voice, good vocals. Okay, this song, "This Old Man," the album came out in '76, and did have a lot of progressive elements in the album. This is also the first album which marks the first album by Tommy Shaw. Tommy Shaw came into the band. John Kurlewski, left the band, personal reasons, But when Tommy Shaw came in, he put that rock, a little bit harder vibe in there. And with Dennis's classical influence there, it made a good combo. Okay, they did make more albums after this. Pieces of Eight. I think Equinox was before this one, but Dennis DeYoung would throw in that ballad, that slower power ballad, if you want to call it. Doing this in the early '70s. But I think Dennis DeYoung was the softer part, classical, long intros. And when Tommy came in, he added that harder rock element. Another thing that Tommy had was he also sang. He sang as well. Had a pretty good voice, Dennis was the main singer. But check out that song, "This Old Man." Again, back then, when they wrote these songs, there were stories behind these songs. There was meaning behind the songs. The long intro with the piano, and then makes it that much more appreciative, to appreciate, because the lyrics are great. There's a great storyline behind the song as well. But yeah, came out in '76. It was the album right after Equinox. They did have a small hit, I think, Lady, I think, before this, but that song took a while before it finally got radio airplay, in there. Um, but yeah, the story behind the song is great. Um, Stixx later, in the 80s, wasn't as proggy anymore. They became a little bit more, like I said, more charters, a little bit more contemporary. When Dennis DeYoung left the band, I think they did continue on with different singers here and there. Tommy took a lot of over vocals, but Dennis DeYoung's solo stuff is really, really contemporary, really adult contemporary, soft rock. Great talent. Don't get me wrong. They worked really well together, him and Tommy, and Stixx. There's a live album they have, Caught in the Act. That's a good album too. Never got to see them live. I might have missed a couple of chances I had, but maybe I should have. I'm more of a purist where I want all the original members there. I know when I had a chance to see them, the Dennis wasn't there, but maybe in the future. Sadly, I think John Panozzo passed away, the drummer, and one of the other brothers as well. There was two brothers in the band, Panozzo brothers. But you never know. You never know. So check out that song. This Old Man off of their Crystal Ball album. They always had great covers. Their covers were awesome. Very detailed. Very illustrative. Okay. But yeah, this album has a lot of piano, a lot of classical piano in there. Combined with Tommy, Tommy's harder edged guitar sound. Great guitar player too. I think he might have been a little bit underrated as well. But yeah, check it out. Check it out. This Old Man off their Crystal Ball album. Stixx, their last album was Kilroy. Kilroy was here. That album was it wasn't too proggy. It was a concept album of a movie or video they made. But the music was, it was just really kind of really different on their last album. But check that one out. Okay, hope you like the episode with the fall of the record. No biggie though, right? All right, well, keep having a good weekend. Enjoy the last of the weekend. Tomorrow's a new month, so hope everyone's well. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. All right.